Hi everybody, this is Steve here, Steve K1027 that is. This video that I'm going to be doing could be a little bit interesting to you, maybe, but it's something that I decided to do here on my channel, and that is going to be something called movie reviews. You know, because I do have a big movie collection, as like Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, and many others as well. I've shown them before, please check them out. But for this video, I decided to do a movie that I'm a big fan of. It's based off from Saturday Night Live. And I just figure I'd do this just because it's a great movie. And I just figure I'll just do it this way. And I'll show you. It's Wayne's World. No way. It's Friday, it's 10:30, it's time to party. I'm your excellent host, Wayne Campbell. With me as always is Garth. Not really. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. So here we go. We'll be reviewing the VHS, that is, of this, right here, from 1992, made by Paramount. And this had, by the way, in case you're wondering, I purchased this at a flea market back in the day. I think for about $10. And even has like a little tag in it, or a little thing, from Saturday Night Live. It says 1991 Broadway Saturday Night Live license. Yeah, so this could be a real thing, I don't know. Anyway, so here we go. So here is basically what the movie is about. Now, as I said before, this is about the Saturday Night Live sketch that was by Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. It was a very funny sketch that they did. Probably did it for about maybe 5 seasons or 4, maybe, on Saturday Night Live. Mostly in the 90s they did. That's when, I think it was like in 1991 maybe when they did it, or maybe 1990. I don't know exactly. But please look them up like on YouTube or Google them, wherever, you know, Saturday Night Live, Wayne's World sketches, and just look it up. Yeah, so anyway, here we go with the movie. I'll just start like from the beginning. This could be a little bit long, but I don't care because, you know, it's my video and it's what I want to say. Alright, here we go. This is basically about these two guys, Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar, played by Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. The tagline has on the bottom, "You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl." And pretty much in my opinion, you will laugh. I don't know about crying, we'll see, but you'll hurl, well, that's just the thing, you know, that's like another word, you know, for throwing up. Yeah. But it's a very good movie. I highly recommend this. If you have not seen it, I don't know why you haven't, but please check it out because it's hilarious. So anyway, how the film starts off is Rob Lowe is also in this movie. He plays a guy that has this girlfriend and discovers Wayne and Garth on TV with their show Wayne's World. And they're reviewing this thing called the Suck Cut, in which this guy puts this thing on Garth's head, which this one looks like vacuuming up his hair, and just says, so now just sit there, Garth. He's going to put that thing on your melon, alright? And yeah, so it's like a thing like to make your hair different or something like that. So then we get later in the scene, and probably comes the most memorable scene of the movie, and that's when Wayne and Garth and their two buddies, I don't know their names exactly in the movie, and they start jamming to the song Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, in which Wayne has a cassette tape and says, "I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen." Good call. And that's when they start singing along with it, and they pick up a buddy named Phil, and a lot of memorable phrases and stuff, you know, funny phrases, and they say, like, "Phil, what are you doing here? You're partied out, man, again. What if he honks in the car?" And, you know, and if you don't know what honk means, well, yeah. And Wayne just says, "I'm giving you a no-honk guarantee." So as they pick him up, now they're all still jamming to Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Well, they're getting to the part, you know, like, "I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango?" And that's when they get all into it. And then they start doing the scene, you know, when they go, for me. And then they start banging their heads and stuff like that, which is another funny scene. Then Wayne discovers a guitar that he really wants, which is some kind of guitar, and more phrases, you know, like Garth says, "So stop torturing yourself, man. You'll never afford it. Live in the now. It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine." So they make a stop now to Makita's Donuts, it's called, and it's named after Stan Mikita, who is a former hockey player from back in the day. And we discover some more people in the movie. We also have Ed O'Neill, who played the memorable role of Al Bundy on the TV show Married with Children, now on the TV show Modern Family as well. And he plays like the guy who works there as well. He's a funny guy too. Then we see Garth's dream girl, in which Garth is fantasizing about her, and he winds up falling back out of his seat, which is a funny scene as well. Then we see Wayne's ex-girlfriend, Stacy is her name. Don't know who plays her. I want to take a guess and say, or see if it says on the back who it is. Well, it does not say. That's all right. But then they go to a place called the Gas Works, where Wayne meets Cassandra, played by Tia Carrere. I want to pronounce her Carrere. I think I'm just going to pronounce it just Carrere, I guess. Anyway, so she's a singer for a band which is called Crucial Taunt. And there's also another appearance of Meatloaf as well. Meatloaf is a guy who's like a bouncer, I guess, at the place, and tells him like who's playing tonight and all that. Then, after Wayne meets Cassandra, he just says, "She will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine." Then another scene as well, just to mention, there's a guy in a Rolls Royce. Wayne tells him to roll down his window, and he says, "Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon?" And the guy doesn't get it and just rolls his window back up. Now, Rob Lowe, who discovered them on television, is now with these guys. Brian Doyle Murray, who is Bill Murray's brother, who is like the owner of a place called Noah's Arcade, like the biggest video game arcade in Aurora, Illinois, along with a guy named Russell, who's another guy who works for some kind of company, and says about like selling like Wayne's show and stuff like that. So they decide to go meet them and all this. Yeah, so they go to their place and they're talking about, signing the contract and like getting paid like for their show and all that, I guess, pretty much. So they wind up doing that, and then they go to another place and there's another scene, and because they got like some money for $5,000 each, and they're all going, "We got $10,000, we got $10,000, right? Excuse me. Yeah. Now another scene as well where they see Cassandra again at another place that she's performing at, and Wayne is, really in love with her as well, so he wants to like talk with her. So he does, and he winds up learning Cantonese, which is what Cassandra does speak as well. So he asks if he can call her, and she says anytime, and in a like Cantonese language goes "Zang," which is like excellent. Then another memorable scene as well, where Wayne and Garth are sitting on their car, what they call the Mirthmobile, and as they're talking, they're talking about Cassandra and a couple other things, and then comes this huge airplane flying over there, which is another funny scene, because, they're just sitting there, and then it just comes right over them, and yeah, that is a funny scene. I don't know if it's on YouTube. It might be or may not be. I don't know exactly, or just Google it. Now they're at the studio, which they're where they're going to do Wayne's World at, and all this stuff. So now they're doing these scenes, like another scene as well, like these places, they're saying they're in New York. "Hey, we're in New York. I got a gun. Or maybe you prefer Hawaii. Come, Mukulaki. Come on, you want to lay me? Go. Or say you want to go to Texas. Howdy, partners. Let's raise and rope broncos. Yep. Or maybe you prefer Delaware. Hi. I'm in Delaware." Yep. Anyway, so another scene as well, just I'm not going to go through like all the scenes, just some of them, just to give some stuff about it. Another one as well, they're playing hockey on the street, and here comes Wayne's ex-girlfriend once again, Stacy, riding a bike, but not paying attention. She crashes into a car. Yeah, but apparently she's okay, and then they just go, "Game on." Yeah. Now Wayne is with Cassandra, and they're going to a place where Wayne saw that guitar, as you know, that Stratocaster guitar that he's interested in. So, of course, they're checking it out, and Garth, another scene, is playing the drums, as you know, another scene as well. And so Wayne winds up buying the guitar as well. Then we have another scene where they're talking about the product replacements, as they call it. It might be on YouTube under the thing movie clips. Yeah, so, and Wayne's just like showing all these things, like Pizza saying, "Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor." Rob Lowe's like, "Sorry you feel that way, but basically it's the nature of the beast." maybe I'm wrong on this one, for me, the Beast doesn't include selling out. Yeah, I know, there's sort of like all these sponsors and stuff, but it's another funny scene too. Now we're back to Makita's Donuts once again, and here is Garth talking to Wayne about a woman and stuff, and now Garth is fantasizing, and now he is dancing to the song Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix to his dream woman, which is another hilarious scene, I should say. It's really hilarious. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. So, now we're moving on to the next ones and stuff. Now Wayne, Garth, and Cassandra wind up visiting Rob Lowe's place. His name is Benjamin in the movie, by the way. And there's another funny scene where Garth is looking through the stuff in his place and sees this thing and says, "Ribbed for her pleasure." Ew. And you probably know what that is. So, now, next thing they do is they get 2 tickets to Alice Cooper's concert in Milwaukee. So, Wayne and Garth head there while Cassandra is doing like a video shoot, I guess, with Benjamin. So, as Wayne and Garth are heading to Milwaukee, then they make a little stop and do a little reference scene to Laverne and Shirley, where they do the thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Shamil, Shamazel, and all that stuff. And they play the theme from it as well. And as they're in the factory scene, then Garth says, "Hey, wait a minute, what are we doing? Yeah, we got backstage passes for Alice Cooper." And now we go to a concert where Alice Cooper is performing and sings Feed My Frankenstein based off of his Hey Stupid album from 1991. And great scene as well, because if you do like Alice Cooper, you know, it's a good song by Alice. So Wayne and Garth decide to go outside now because they got backstage passes, but they run into a security guard played by Chris Farley, who tells them that about the limo, because they ask if it's Alice Cooper's limo, and it belongs to Frank Sharp, the head of Sharp Records. So he tells them like that he's like how busy he is and all that, and Wayne comes up with an idea like to get Cassandra like a record deal, maybe. So now they meet Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper gives like a little information like about Milwaukee and stuff, saying like, do you come to Milwaukee often? He says, "Well, I'm a regular visitor here, but Milwaukee has certainly had a share of visitors, and they've been coming since late 1800s, something like that." And one guy says, "Isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?" "Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land." Yeah. And like a little history lesson in Milwaukee, basically. So now they're saying they're about to go and stuff, but he tells them to stick around and hang out with them. So that's what they decide to do, and that's when they do the scene, "We're not worthy, we're not worthy, we're not worthy, we're scum, we suck." Another funny scene as well, and Alice Cooper just goes like that, like, you know, kiss the hand, basically. Now let me check the time on the camera real quick. Okay, let me just pause here. We're now back, so we'll just this way. Alright, here we go. Now, as I said, they're at the studio for their show, and basically everything goes pretty much wrong on there, because instead of they're doing their opening thing, you know, Wayne's World, party time, excellent, instead it is replaced by a thing because they signed a contract and all that, and it's just weird, and the guy is who announces and says, "Party on, Wayne, and party on, Garth," and they're just like, what the hell? So their guest is Noah Vanderhoff, and Wayne has these cards and stuff and makes these little notes, he says. And the first one has something on the back, and he's like says, "What is your most popular video game?" and all that, and he tells them, but it says on there, Sphincter Boy. So now the next one, he moves on and shows the next one, says, "This man blows goats, I have proof," which of course has to be edited for TV, like on channels and stuff, but yeah. While the whole crew is laughing and stuff, then he says, like, "What's the difference between Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man, really?" "Well, she has a bow in her hair." And then the next one is, "This man has no penis." And of course, Benjamin is not pleased and all that, so he winds up firing Wayne from the show, and now Garth is the only one that's left, so now Wayne and Garth's friendship winds up going wrong because of what Wayne did to him by leaving Garth from the show, and Wayne's relationship with Cassandra winds up being a little bit on the rocks now because of what Benjamin is doing to her. So he and Garth decide to make up at Makita's place, And now they decide to get the whole crew together to do a video shoot at Wayne's house for the little video shoot and try and get Mr. Frankie Sharp to get her like a record deal. So that's what they do. And Cassandra performs the song Ballroom Blitz. Does a pretty good job of it as well. So the first one that happens, well, what happens is Frankie Sharp shows up and says, I saw your performance and all that, and says that, you know, I don't think it's going to work out. So she winds up getting rejected. And then the place winds up catching on fire. And while Cassandra and Benjamin are like in another place enjoying their time together, and here come Wayne and Garth appearing, and just like we don't want to end the movie that way, and right, let's do the Scooby-Doo ending, and just go and now we go into the next scene again, where we're back to the place, and just once again says, I saw your performance in my limo, but they take off a mask. Benjamin winds up being the guy named Old Man Withers, as they say, the guy that runs the amusement park, and the guy's like, and I would have gotten away with it too, and it hadn't been for you Snoopy kids, like the Scooby-Doo, and so now they just say, let's do the happy ending. So they do, and now Frankie Sharp says to her that he wants her to be like in his office the next day and stuff, and work out a deal. So Wayne and Cassandra wind up becoming a relationship. See what that was. And Garth tells his girl, I love you, dream woman, and all that. And one of the members of the crew of Wayne's World, the guy, says to Russell, I love you, man, as he winds up saying he's being gay, I guess, and just says, I love you, and just says, I realize that, two men or whoever saying all that are just, it's just, not a big deal or anything like that. So, that's just basically it. But it is a hilarious movie. I mean, don't get me wrong or anything. You should watch this movie. I highly recommend it, and this is the tape as well. It has a bunch of stickers on it, like Be Kind, Please Rewind, and a video thing. It says Village Video from Bel Air, Maryland, and Forest Hill, Maryland. They're obviously not in business anymore, because the only video places, well, that would be around, like our Amazon and eBay where you can get them, because Blockbuster, has been out of business for a while. West Coast Video, Hollywood Video, yeah. Or just get Netflix or Amazon, or the Amazon app and stuff, and watch them on that, basically. And you can rent them for $2.99 or own them for $10, something like that. Yeah. And that's just basically it for this movie, But it is a very good movie, like I said. Nice cameo appearance of Alice Cooper and funny stuff. Yeah. But out of a rating of, 5 stars and all that, what I would give this, I would give this a 4 out of 5. And why I wouldn't give it a 4.5 or a 5 or anything like that? Just the ending was a little bit it was okay. I mean, just the way they did them endings and stuff. But still, it's a very good movie. So there you go. So that'll probably do it for this review of Wayne's World. So that'll do it for this. And we'll do my review of Wayne's World 2. So stay tuned for that. We'll do the sequel after this. Stay tuned.